everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm here today again working on the end-to-end moth journal. I know I have been a little bit lax with videos lately, so there's been a couple reasons. Number one, work has been very, very busy. But number two, I am also trying to deal with some pain I'm having in my shoulder, and I finally have an answer to what it is, and it's actually a good answer. I have essentially a calcific tendinosis is the name of it, and it's just like a calcium deposit that comes from overuse of your shoulder. It's I don't know if it's common or not, but it happens a lot in women between the ages of 30 and 60, and so yeah, I don't know, there's probably a couple contributors to it. Number one, I just do a lot of things with my hands, but also I'm a swimmer, and yeah, it can happen. So now I have to basically get some rehab and sports medicine, and get to what they call post-calcific state, where they get, rid of that calcium buildup in the tendon. So that is what's been going on all this time. So I've got some decent management of the pain I was experiencing now, which is nice. And I'm not having to take anything too taxing on my body, which is what I was worried about, because you got to be careful. You can't just take endless amounts of especially Advil and stuff, because it can tax your liver, your kidneys, your blood pressure, all sorts of things. So you got to be careful. But I also feel like Tylenol on its own doesn't do a whole lot for me usually, but maybe it does. You have to take it in a certain way. So my doctor has been wonderful at giving me the right answers for what to take and when, and it is totally helping me. So I don't have to be so upset about how I'm feeling. Okay, so we have the 7 signatures, and I've got the interesting pages mostly in this one. I just need to fill in some other pages. So if you hear some sounds, Toasty's down here, my chihuahua, and he's having a little allergy day today, so this little snarf sound that he makes. So my goal today is to get these kind of more normal or writing papers into the book with the more interesting papers. So I'm just going to kind of go through the signatures and add in some pages where I think they would look nice. I've got some boiled book pages, some dyed blue pages that I dyed, some ledger, and some coffee dyeing. I'm going to put ledger in the middle here. Probably good for that one. And this one, pop a coffee dye page in there between those. Put this one. Hey, Toasty. Okay. And then I'll pop one of these, maybe. Actually, I won't. I don't know what I want to put in the center of the book yet. Alright, let's take this botanical page. That's okay as is. Let's do that. Maybe a blue would be good there. We need something like coffee dyed paper or tea dyed. These are actually tea dyed pages, I think. Right. Yes, I had a busy morning. I took my daughter to her her soccer game. She had fun. Okay. We'll go with a ledger in there. These are cabbage dyed ledger pages. Okay. For those of you who are wondering, I will be releasing a moth-themed journal kit at some point. I'm still working on it. It'll be a little different than what I have in this book because I just basically like need to work on a few more pages for it. Speaking of pages, I think I need a little bit more paper for these. That I'm good with. Up there. I'll put this one in here. That's actually fine right there. So I think I need, what, 1 and probably 2, 3 more pages. So give me 1 second. I'm going to grab some paper. Just went over to my dyed paper bin and grabbed some papers that I think are nice. These are indigo dyed pages. That's here. And then this one. I think I want that in the center, so I don't think I need any more in that one. This one in here maybe. There we go. Alright, so now these are the signatures for the book. And I'm going to put them in my book press today, so they will go off to be smooshed and flattened nicely. And we'll get started maybe on some ephemera work. So I've got to decide what I'm going to want to put on the cover here and how I want to play with the spine as well. I'm thinking I'm a little tempted to use some of this paper maybe on the spine to go above and below where the moth is. These are gorgeous papers. It's almost hard to choose which one I would use. I quite like that one and that one. Toasty, what are you doing? Sorry. Hey, what you doing? He sounds like a little pig today. He's just, he has allergies, and so he's just snarfing around. It's a little distracting, but he's down here because sometimes my dogs get into these kerfuffles, and today's one of those days where they're just not really wanting to hang out with each other. So Toasty comes to me. Where did that paper go that I want? These are really beautiful papers that I got from the printing fair. There we go. There's the one I need. I think I'll just cut it off at the top here. I'm planning to use probably most, if not all, these papers in this book anyhow. But I think this has a really nice cottony feel to it, and I just want to see. I have to cut it straight before doing anything with it, but how would it go over this? Actually quite well. Yeah, that would be very nice actually. And I would make it too long so that I could curve it onto the inside of the book. Maybe we'll start that actually. We'll do that and get it drying. So this is the not straight end. Okay. Pull this up for a second. There we go. Okay. That should be good for that side, I think. Maybe a little longer. And the other side. Okay. So I've still been working on things in the background. If you follow me on my private, or not private, but my Instagram, that's like my kind of behind the scenes, not necessarily finished things for my Studioloo kind of business. I have another Instagram called Moonbee Books, which is what I call my books. And it gives you all the sneak peeks of behind the scenes and stuff. And I've shared in a few different places, like the video of the books that I'm working on. I'm calling them kind of my quiet curiosa books. Quiet meaning I'm just doing them in the background without filming right now. I might make some videos, I don't know. Sometimes when something just kind of captures like my spirit and I'm doing some experiments and stuff, I like to have a quiet place where I just do it without people watching, because I find sometimes my experiments can be a little bit stressful for people to watch from time to time. Like some people just, they can't watch something when they don't know if it's going to work. Or if they think they have a better way of doing it, it stresses them out. And I understand that. But for me, I'm still going to do those experiments, and they may not always work. And that's the whole thing with, like, you know, science, right? Like an experiment. It may not work. We may all end up in a weird submarine looking for the Titanic because we got overconfident. It's very possible. Okay, so yeah, we'll just bring that excess paper in here, and that will do, it will serve two purposes. So if I decide to do a hidden hollowback spine, I now have a neat and tidy piece of edging here for the end of the book. So if I have a hovering spine, that will look really nice and tidy. And obviously out here, it looks good. Now, I'd be very careful with paper if you do this yourself. This is a quality paper that is actually made with cotton fibers. It's a Japanese sashiko paper or something. Because what can happen when you use paper instead of fabric in something that's going to bend, like the inside of a spine or something, like where your edges and your hips kind of meet. You'll notice in most of my books, I tend to use fabric as the backing for my inner spine. And I'll show you, like, as we get to that stage. I think that's a stage a lot of people are interested in seeing me do, because I don't share it much. I do that though because paper can crack in the seam, and that kind of thing stresses me out, and it doesn't stay how I intend. So I'm just going to push this up a little. I'm using art glitter glue, which dries clear, so not too worried about excess glue. I'm just keeping this even and pressing it down neatly. Getting a little glue on my desk, and that's okay too. Pick it back up. Just wipe this glue up with a book page, because I don't seem to have any baby wipes down here. I gotta grab some. So we'll just get rid of it that way for now. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now, the edges here are what I'm going to have to work on training. Once I get the signatures in the book and it stands on its own, I'll be able to finish off any section that, like, you know, seems like it's not trained how I want it to be. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how that came together. Looks very nice. Okay. So a little tiny bit of the gold text showing. I'm not sure I'm bothered though. It kind of looks like a bit of a pattern. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I'm not going to move it because that would be pointless. If I was really bothered, I can add another piece of paper. But I actually might be adding a title here anyways. I was thinking of doing that, like underneath the moth, like having some kind of like words or a title down here. We'll see. We'll see what I do. Some kind of a label. Now we also need to think about what's going to go on here. I'm thinking something moth-ish and possibly one of my images from my kit, and I will emboss it. So yeah, we will think about that later. But for now, let's take a look here and see what makes sense to happen next. So I've got the kit from the Junk Journal Studio. This is her Nature Slides kit, and I got it cut out. I just fussy cut it. That's the only thing I did with it off camera. I just got these cut out. But I figured you didn't need to watch me fussy cut. I selected a couple of moths. This is the background. And then these are other pieces of like ephemera, like bases that I want to use. And then I've got some other moths and things. I have loads of things already cut out for this book. So I think I'm in a good position to get started. This is going to go as a center page. That probably could have went into the press with the others, but that's okay. It isn't going to require a lot of pressing. But I will fold it because that'll go in the middle. So now I guess what would make sense is to probably make these cards. Just gonna pull all this small stuff up top here. There's some moths, lots of different pieces of ephemera that needs making. Okay, set this aside and let's play with this kit. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 slides, 3 labels, 4 like ID type labels, and then this fun thing here. So I think what I'll do to get started is to just do a bit of inking on the inner part of the paper here. We go from the inside, and I'm actually using a little Woody's ink, which is a really nice color. It's like a kind of a chocolate brown, a little bit different. I'm just going to go around the outside as well. It's a really nice day today. We're getting a few nice days of fall that are continuing, which is great because I am not ready for winter. Not even close. I need to get ready for winter though because, you know, I'm Canadian. I think I'm going to do a little bit of organization today again in my garage. I'm still getting rid of things in my garage. And it's all because I'm just needing to reorganize a few things, and like we have a lot of things that are like old, you know, the kids have grown out of, like little bikes and little cars and toys and things, and you know, now that they're getting bigger, there's other things that are going to be taking up that space. So I just like to kind of ink the in and outside of the edging to get rid of that white paper kind of line from where I cut these out. And I also like just the marking that the ink makes. I'm gonna kind of mark the back of that up a little with brown because I don't know if I'm going to cover it or not. And so I'm hoping to get back to my regularly like scheduled kind of video making now that I've got the arm thing under control, and hopefully I have, on the most part, taken care of a lot of issues with work that have been really taxing my time. Not very happy with a few things at my job right now that people need to do a little bit better than they are, but that's another story. All right, I need some plastic, and I think I have some in this book. I need some acetate or something. What's here? Some acetate from this. It's thin, which is fine. Okay. Yeah, that would be fine. Now these, part of the Junk Journal Studio, the cool part about her kit is that she makes these so they can be double-sided. Like she reverses the image completely so that you can make a slide with them that like works both sides. So that's great. Just applying glue on the one here so I can put the two together. And if you haven't gotten all of your freebies from the Junk Journal Studio, she has been posting all sorts of links, and you know, she provided freebies for everyone on our design team to give away for the launch of our design team, which was a lot of fun. And so make sure you visit all of the channels on her design team and their videos, and you check the description box for the links to all the freebies, because I think it ended up being around like 20 pages or so of really nice, like I would say nature fall themed things. And she's also done some winter freebies. She has a new winter kit which is really nice. I have not been able to tackle it quite yet, but I hope to. Alright, so how do I want to do this? I might use this little acetate bag and put the butterfly inside like this, or moth rather. Push it up a bit. Then I'm going to trim that side. So I can go in and kind of position it how I want it to be. Then we would fold that over and we would have this. Then I would probably want to stitch around the edge. So I think that I will go do that. I'm just going to like keep this in position like this and just probably rearrange it again to exactly how I need it to be with that like lined up properly. And then I will stitch around the circle, and then I will stitch again around the whole edge of this card, and I will come right back. Alright, so that's been stitched. Now I'm just going to go around the back side of the stitches with my bone folder and just press them down so they're not like standing up. And then it is ink time again. So I did just a straight stitch around this, and then I did a zigzag around the outside. I like how zigzagging the edge of things gives it a nice closed up finish, especially when you're trapping something between two sides, like two layers. Okay, and then I will put a little ink again over the stitching on the other side as well. we go. Now we can decide if we want to put a label of some kind on here. These labels mostly I think are too big for this particular piece of ephemera, but this one actually could go. So yeah, let's do that one. Let's ink it up a little before I put it on. Okay. So fun. So yeah, that's a fun piece of ephemera. We have writing space and just, it's a nice decorative kind of slide piece, right? You could make it a really cute tip out if you're doing like a really flippy kind of journal. So set those up there. Then I want to take this baggie that I've got here that I want to use in the journal, and then decide if I want to keep the bottom or not. It adds a lot of bulk, these kind of bags, so I think as much as I love the little baggie, I'm gonna just cut the end off to just get rid of this whole bulky situation. Now you can use these this way as a pop-up like kind of piece of ephemera, which I might do, because you can actually, I think, remove some more in there if you wanted to. You don't need to though. When it's laying down flat, I actually like to use that more than I like to have a whole bag with all this bulk kind of sitting behind it. So then what I'll do is I'll still keep it as a baggie. It's still cute. I'll just run some glue along the bottom. You could also stitch if you wanted to, but I'm not going to this time. Just gonna glue. Even out the edge a little. Actually, I might wait until it's dry. Then, actually, that's not too bad. Get rid of this. Now we need to think about how we want to decorate this to make it mothy. Got this little bit of ledger paper too that I'm thinking of adding there. That would look nice with that. So how big? Probably about there. This is from an old legal ledger. Then I think I will put this on there. Then I have my circle punch here. I do. And I'm just going to punch a little like a thumb in the top here, like a little half circle thumb hole, so that you can see that it's, you know, a baggie. So that'll be a good pocket for a page. Or it could also be a flip out, we'll see. Put that aside, and then maybe we'll work on this. So would that fit in here? Not quite, almost. That one would, but I think I'm going to get some scrap. I've got this scrap paper here that I was playing with, and what I'll do is I'll just get a pencil Okay, so now we have this, and we'll cut this out to use it as the background. Just going to cut right inside that line that I drew so that there's a little wiggle room. Right, and then we'll glue this in. Has a background in the bottom of this little kind of bag bottom. It's kind of like a little gallery box. There we go. Tug to even it out. Okay. Then just want to ink the edges here. Then down the middle as well. This kind of gives it like almost a little leathery kind of a look. Then when we open it, we need something else to be going on in there. Just ink the edges here too. There we go. So I know I have all manner of things here. We could, you know, do like a little moth situation with these kind of little cutouts. Maybe something else too. Like this girl could be in here. She could also be like on the outside as a polo, but she's a little big for that. So you can also hide something else in here too if you want. I seem to recall I had a little mothy fairy kind of girl. Well, she's not that little. My son is upstairs shouting. I don't know why. So if you hear him, sometimes he uses his 3-year-old lungs to get everyone's attention. Which one? Which one? That one's pretty. These are all too big, I think, for this project, though. I don't want to chop them up a whole lot. But another kind of image would be nice. It's just picking that right one. Okay. Last time I made a moth journal, I crocheted a little moth to go on the spine. I might use this little lantern as like the pull open kind of mechanism for this. So we'll cut this out. I think I will probably emboss it or back it or both to give it some strength, because it will it'll be glued on the outside on this one side, and it will be like the little pull open for it. So we have a lantern there, and then when you open, Okay. So I'm going to just cut this out. Okay. Then we'll fold this back up again so I can use it to measure with, because I need this to sit in the center right like that. And then on back, I need these to be folded. But I actually need the fold to go this way. Okay. So it's like that. So that when I set it in here, those folds are going to sit against the sides, the two sides here. You can also definitely cover the sides if you want to. I don't particularly feel that that's necessary for this. Kind of like it to look like a little paper box. So I'll just scooch it up to that side, lay it down, and then scooch it up to the other side. There we go. Just lay all the whole image down. Okay. And then what I might do with this, if I have handy, I do. Here we go. Just grab them. So inside of this, I think what I'll put on in here will be just loose 3 little moths that, you know, can be used wherever the person who should adopt this journal wants. So it's going to live inside there, so it'll be like a little prize when they open it up. Now we need the closure, so let's first glue it down. Should just fold this glue page together and we'll put it right on here. Okay. Then, actually, before I cut, I'm going to take some gilding wax. I'm going to go around the edge here on the paper to just give a bit of a magic kind of glitz to some of the lantern. Now, a lot of this will get cut away, but I just want to give a little glitz to the lantern underneath the embossing that we're going to do. I might leave a little edge here. There we go. So that already changes it a lot. Let me grab my embossing powder. Okay, so let's just go ahead and we'll hit this with some embossing. Oops. Make sure I got it on there. Then, I forgot to separate this page. You should always do that first if you're going to use the paper. Okay. This is just clear, if you're wondering. Teeny little fleck of fluff there. Get that out. Okay. Pick this up. Set that down. Good. And then we'll just put the lid on anything wet before we start to emboss. Heat gun, just hold this down with these. Okay, so that's nice and embossed now. So that will be our opening for this. Now I should probably take a look at that, because so when that opens, you're going to see a bit of text. So let me just get rid of this page that has some embossing powder on it. So if that's the part, yeah, we want to hide the text on one side, and I'm going to do that with gilding wax, because gilding wax is quite lovely and opaque, and also it goes with the whole theme of the whole piece that I have here, right? Just on the one side. Then on the other side, art glitter glue. Oops, I got a blob there. I had a little clogged nozzle. That's okay. Just sort of flatten it with my finger. We're going to be needing a hand wash here quite soon. Get rid of this paper. Then close it up. Lay that down. Just hold it for a moment. We're all stuck down. I gotta glue the inside of that. The glue stick didn't hold. That's odd. Maybe I didn't glue it all that well. Oh, that was a glue page. That's why. Yeah, so I probably had uneven gluing. Let's just check down here. No, this is really good. Like, this is really well glued. It's just the top. Okay, we're all good. Okay, so now we have this, and it opens. We've covered the text with the gilding wax, so you don't see any text there. And inside, you've got these little bits, fun little journal bits, and then your nice moth at the bottom. So that I would probably just glue around the back right down onto a page as a little secret surprise. So that's done. Now, I guess we have time to do probably another piece of ephemera with these slides, these slide images here. Now I did get, where is it? There's a backing paper that's also a part of this kit that you could use, you know, as the background for the slides, whatever you want to put on there. And I think I'll do that instead of acetate, maybe. The other thing I'm thinking kind of I like is if I were to use these together, you'd have like a cool double slide. I'm going to do that. One of them I might even just use that paper inside of because it's really nice. Let's take a look here. We'll glue this, and like you could cut them apart after if you wanted to, but like look how cool that looks. It's really nice. So yeah, we'll do that one this way. So I'll just let's do a quick rough cut on that. Okay. So we have that. Now we can glue the other side of this one probably. Do we want to cover the back again? Or do we want this to be like maybe writing space on the back in those little bits? That would be cute, like inked up for sure. And the nice thing is you can actually see, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it right through the paper. I can see where the slide on the other side of the paper is. So we can cut this out. Or sorry, we can glue this down and then like re-fussy cut kind of. And maybe it would have been better to do this before I fussy cut them, because like now you're having to fussy cut twice, but that's okay. Sometimes, you know, some of the most fun and different ephemera that you make ends up being because you had to do a little extra work, and I have no problem with that. I'm just going to go kind of around the edges. There. Put my tweezers back so I don't lose them. So then I'll just cut the edging. If only I had a little rectangle punch, that would be perfect for this. Actually look at my punches. Give me one sec. Okay, so I have this slot punch. I think I'm going to use it like to do this because it'll actually create a neater shape than the one I'm able to easily fussy cut. And I just want to neaten it up a little before I punch. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yes, that's way faster too. Yay. And I'll just go into those little punched areas, pop some ink in there. There we go. All right, so yeah, that's a lot of fun. I like that, having that as like a double slide. And you can fold, right? You could fold it. Let's just do that so that it can be a two-part slide. I mean, you can also cut it apart, but I like it as one piece with a bit of a fold there. And then I think I will put one of my little laser cut moths, probably. I have one handy. I have a few handy. Yep. This one's cute. I will put that there as like something that's kind of a contrast, like more like an actual piece of a specimen. My background paper looks really nice as the background of the specimen card. That's great. So yeah, you could also obviously put things in here, but I'm going to leave this for writing space. Okay. And then we have this one. And I have options. you know, you could use one of the little labels in here too, like so. And that would be very cute. I quite like that. I'm gonna do that. Why not? If you like it, you like it. Okay. And I guess I can glue this together because I'm not gonna put acetate in. Okay. This is nice because it's like kind of an example of how, you know, the kit really can just do the work for you when you're making specimen slides. You don't have to like do every little fussy cut bit when you use something like this. It's great. But you know, I've shown you obviously both ways that you can do things. And I like that everything is like double-sided so that you don't have to do a bunch of backing. Okay, yeah, so that's cute. So from the kit, I've already done those. This and this, you know, lots of fun bits. Post some pictures on Instagram of these so you can get a look at them a little closer. And maybe I will continue. Actually, I can't continue. This is the end-to-end together journal. I'm so used to just swanning off and doing, you know, whatever I want to do, but I'm doing this with you. So yeah. But we've done some fun stuff today. But this is the stuff from the Junk Journal Studio Kit, which I will link in the description box down below. But I think that that will be my video for today, and I hope you're doing really well, and we will talk again soon. Bye for now.